today we're going to talk about the real reason you can't ask for what you want.
From the outside, you look like you have your shift together.
But relationships, not always as easy. So let's have conversation that actually moves things forward.
And meet yourself where the shift happens.
All right, today we're going to talk about the real reason you can't ask for what you want. Oh, this is a deep shift. We're continuing on our conversations, and what we're talking about now, we're digging into communication. So we talked about previously communication, and we organized them in kind of the two different categories to say, but want to drill down a little bit more into that in a little bit and talk about the real reason. The real reason. What's the reason behind why people just won't ask for what they want? I think we kind of touched on it, but I don't know if we dug really, really down into it.
Yeah, we touched on it last time. I think there are a couple different reasons why people don't ask for what they want. One, they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Another reason is they don't think that they deserve it.
I was about to say it, but I didn't want to finish it for you in case you didn't go in that direction.
They don't want to upset the other person.
Okay.
What are some other reasons? They don't want to be embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I don't know. I'm trying to make sure I keep the list of what you just said in the head. More than anything. Afraid, don't deserve it, don't want to hurt the other person, don't want to feel embarrassed.
Don't want to be an inconvenience. They don't know how.
They don't know how. I think that's an important one. The ones I'm thinking of, for example, they don't want to put themselves out there. They don't want to be too exposed.
Like
but that's the fear. You know, that's the fear of. I think that's probably more prominent than the idea of they don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. I think that is more prominent. I think that's even more prominent. Well, that's probably aligned with, but not directly connected to, don't want to be embarrassed.
Like they don't want to hurt the other person, so they're not going to ask, or they're not going to express it.
Or express it or say it.
Yeah.
Of course, there's that fear of rejection, but once again, that's just fear. Because we've only come up with about 4 or 5.
Yeah, because some of those are like umbrellas that cover a lot of...
Exactly. That's partially what I'm thinking. That's partially what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In the list of, I don't want to just say what I want. I don't want to just communicate how I feel. When you try and break it down to what are the exact reasons that's the case, I mean, we're at 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. We're at 4 or 5. There are 4 or 5 reasons that you won't just communicate what you want. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of it, what's a big one that we're missing right now that that isn't covered by something else that we've already said.
I would be curious to see what people...
Right. Because...
I would love to know in the comments. I'm sure we're missing some.
Well, I don't know. It's like, is it one of those things where it's the umbrella? Once again, we've covered the big umbrella. So somebody says, oh, they're mad. That's covered under what? Embarrassment, maybe?
Fear.
Or fear. Or, I just had one in my head that was not fear of rejection, history. They've had things happen in the past, so they don't want, so they don't want to. Once again, that's fear. See what I mean? Once again, that just goes back to fear. Or let's say they don't want to say it because, they want to go out on a date, but times are lean, so they can't afford to. Embarrassment. Mm-hmm. We're back at embarrassment. So we're still at fear, embarrassment, don't want to hurt the other person's feeling. So a lot of what we're saying in communications and we're thinking in our mind is the examples, or we're thinking examples of saying you want to go out with somebody, you like somebody, you want to date somebody. But the converse, the opposite of that would be to say, hey, I don't like you. Falls under you don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings.
Yeah. You don't know how, it wasn't modeled for you.
Right.
So you don't know how to express what you...
Right. But that was when you already said don't know how.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And is don't know how the same as I don't realize it?
I think it can be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm trying to think too, something that's popping into my mind is the idea like you were raised like kids should be seen and not heard, so don't express. But that would probably also go under like you don't think you
Deserve
it.
Yeah. Don't deserve communication, or you're not allowed to communicate clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, so I'm still trying to think of it, because here's the thing. If it's down to like 5 examples, then you can almost take those 5 or 6 examples and say, okay, we have 5 or 6 examples. This is how you attack those. This is how you attack those. Because once you realize that the spectrum of, or the circle or the pie, or however you want to refer to it visually, that all those fall really under 5 categories or 5 things, it's much easier to figure out, how do I handle these 5?
Yeah.
Versus how do I handle these 40, 50?
Yeah.
You know, the idea of I don't know how to, for example, that one's kind of easy.
What would your response to that one be?
You don't know how to communicate clearly? First of all, people are watching this on YouTube. There are communication experts on YouTube. Watch some of those. You don't know how to communicate clearly. Sit down, write down the thoughts that you have, that you either can't put into words, or you have them but you don't know how to put them into correct words. You can sit down and drill down and say, how do I put these? How do I communicate these clearly? What word best describe my feeling? You can actually go through the exercises of, how do I take this emotion and how do I form it into something so that I know how to communicate exactly what I'm thinking. Or you can read a book on communications.
Yeah.
So the concept of I don't know how means great. You can teach yourself how. There are plenty of ways to teach yourself how. It's almost, out of all of them, it's almost the easiest one. Because some of the level of I don't know how to communicate clearly, a big portion of that I think falls under the concept of simply, I'm not present enough to even know when I haven't. So there is a point of knowing how to communicate clearly where the person just needs to figure out, one, how do I just be present so I know what I'm saying, so I know when I haven't communicated clearly, so I can go back.
To know what I'm experiencing.
Right.
And then describe that.
Right. So you have the idea of, let me learn how to be present. And once I learn how to be present, then I can start paying more attention to my communications. And then if I determine after that, hey, I still suck at communicating when I'm thinking clearly, now I can learn how to communicate. I can actually put these on a plate of skills I need to learn and go learn how to do them.
Yeah, and we have to be, if that's the case, it's important to be intentional about practicing.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Like we have to practice.
And that means practice it anywhere. We're not talking about in relationships. When you're talking with friends, and in practice, did I say that clearly? Do you know what I mean?
You can also say, hey, I'm trying to be better at this.
Right.
So
can you help me?
Yeah. Also, hey, this is something I'm working on. So I've been feeling this way.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it here. I've been feeling this way. Or I think this is how I've been feeling. This is what I've been experiencing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to communicate it clearly, but I'm going to lead the conversation by saying, hey, I've been trying to be better about this, so I'm going to take a swing at it here.
Yep.
I grew up playing softball, right? And my dad was always like, I don't care if you strike out, as long as you swing the bat. Like if you let 3 good pitches go by you and you strike out, that's not okay. Like you swing the bat.
Yeah.
It's better to swing and strike out like that than to just stand there. Don't do that. Don't do it.
It's like, swing hard.
Right.
Swing for the fences, dear. Swing.
Right.
But yeah, so that's why I think that one is almost the easiest one to figure out.
Right. So there's more like try, and it's okay to say, hey, I'm trying this.
Right.
I'm practicing this. I'm not great at it. Like you can lead a conversation like that. And that will prepare. And honestly, you communicating that is excellent communication.
Oh my, I mean, for real.
Communicating,
For real.
saying, stating, verbalizing, hey, I'm trying this out.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
And then expect to suck.
But also
I always love to
disarms
point
the other
that.
person.
No, I mean, I get that. That definitely disarms
Even
a person.
It's not
but
intense conversation.
to people who are worried about saying that, expect to suck.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that from the perspective of you should expect to fail. I just mean that from the perspective of we carry into too many things that we don't know how to do, this expectation that we're supposed to know how to do it.
We're supposed to be great at it.
Or we're supposed to be great at it. And we forget that we sucked at every last thing we ever did the first time we did it. And you can find whatever you're amazingly good at. And if you ever saw the video that you had, especially if you're young, you might actually have it these days. The video of the first time you did it, you sucked at it. You did. So just expect to suck.
Right.
Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about trying to do it.
Even if we're using the baseball analogy.
Yeah.
Right. Even if you tip the ball and it's a foul ball behind you.
Yeah.
You still made contact.
You know, I love the baseball analogy too, because the baseball, that's what common, the movie, The Natural. And it's a phrase that, oh, this kid is a natural, that type of thing. And I hear it often used with like baseball, you know? And the thing I like about baseball is somebody who's just a natural, he's just a natural hitter. He just swings away, hits everything. And we don't think that kid when he was 2 or 3 was probably in the yard playing with a twig going like this, swinging at mosquitoes and stuff, you know? It wasn't a baseball bat and it wasn't swinging at baseball, but he was or she was practicing. We just don't realize it.
Yeah.
So that kid that was a natural did not hit that mosquito the first time.
No.
Just didn't. Just missed it. Probably swatted his sister or brother by accident a couple of times before he figured out the distance of the bat and how to swing the bat. You know, so we've learned how to do everything that we do. And we forget that as we get older. We learn how to do everything. So even communicating clearly, if you didn't have that modeled, if you didn't know how to do it, if you just aren't the person who focused on it, so you don't feel like you do it well. Now when you start to focus on it, you're going to suck at it. Right. It's cool. It's okay.
It's expected.
It's expected.
It's expected.
Because when you start focusing on it down the line, you won't suck at it anymore.
No.
So go ahead, suck it on up.
Just like we say about dating, the more you're practicing, the better you're going to get.
Get them reps in.
The more reps you get in, the better you're going to get. You're going to learn what works for you, what doesn't work for you, all that jazz.
Get them reps in. So that's why I said not knowing is the easiest one.
Yeah.
Now, when you come down to the, let me see, now we got to remember the list. When you come down to the fear, embarrass, don't want to hurt anybody else. And then there was the fourth one that I can't remember right now. But let's see. Fear, embarrass, don't want to hurt anybody else. I would think embarrassment and fear would be the two that would be probably hardest, I think. I consider the concept of you not wanting to hurt anybody else probably somewhat without knowing, as I think in the moment, maybe possibly being a cop-out answer to really falling under fear. Because the examples of when I think about that, and you can tell me what you're thinking about because you said that one, is that you're thinking, I don't want to hurt anybody else because I don't want to tell them something I think they don't want to hear. Or I don't want to hurt their feelings. Right. But one, you don't fully for sure know their feelings unless they've expressed something. And two, you're only hurting their feelings really if you do it in a way that is, what's the word I'm looking for? You do it in a way that's unkind. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
I still feel like no is the kindest thing you can do for people. If the answer is no, let them know it's no so they can move on with their lives doing whatever the heck they want to do.
Right. Set them free.
Set them free. No is one of the kindest things you can do for people. And it may seem like it's hurting them in the moment, but really what it's doing is it's freeing them up. And in the moment, you're seeing the emotions and you're really fearing or uncomfortable with the emotions you're going to have to feel because of the emotions they're feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Also, when you care about someone, you don't want them to hurt. You don't want them to be uncomfortable.
Right.
And so expressing something to them that you think might be hurtful, like you don't want to do it.
Right.
You know, but you don't just have to go in with like, this is happening, that you're doing this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, that is hurtful.
Yeah.
Because you can acknowledge, hey, I know that this is something you've been working on, or this is something, you know, that's minor. This is how I feel.
Right.
You know, is this something we can work on?
Yeah.
Right. That there are ways to say stuff that soften some of that. You used to say, we've talked about it in this space too, like one thing in our relationship is I physically cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Like 85% of the time.
It's an issue.
I physically cannot hear you. Right? So I've said, hey, can we put some of these things in place to ensure that like I can hear you when you're speaking to me? Mm-hmm. I don't like it when I can't hear you. You don't like it when I can't hear you. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So one thing I've said is, hey, when you're talking to me, can you make sure you can see me? Mm-hmm. And you'll talk to me from the other room or something like that. And then I'll say, hey, this has been happening again. Like you're talking to me from the other room or whatever. Get my attention first and then speak to me or whatever. And you'll be a little bit annoyed by that. And
I will be.
You've said to me, I am annoyed by it, but I'm not annoyed at you about it.
Right.
I'm annoyed with myself because I've forgotten to keep that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because they're upset about it, because then my response is, well, why would I want to come tell you?
Yeah.
If you're going to be annoyed by it.
Yeah.
So maybe like if they're coming to their partner and they're expressing something like that, it could be a case of, yeah, I'm frustrated or annoyed, but I'm not frustrated or annoyed at you.
Right.
I'm frustrated, annoyed at the situation or myself or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you should not express what you're experiencing or what you need in a relationship. Like it is important that you're expressing those things. Communication is the foundation of intimacy.
Yes, it is.
If you are not communicating well, you will not feel close to this person. You will not feel an emotional connection with this person. Oftentimes I ask clients, or they'll come to me and say like, I want to be more intimate. When I'm doing couples therapy, right?
Yep.
I want us to be more intimate. We're not intimate very often. In my response, I will just look at them and say, so you want to have more sex or you want to have a deeper conversation? Oh, I want us to have sex more. Okay, well, that is literally just sex. Mm-hmm. How is your communication? Because if you tell me, I bet you, if you talk to me about what your communication is like, we will figure out
what the sex is like.
Yeah, why that's not happening as much as what you would want.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's not happening as much as what both, people in the relationship would want, but they're also not communicating about it.
Right.
They're not communicating maybe stuff underneath that, stuff that maybe is completely unrelated to that.
Right. Because a lot of times there are a lot of things that are unrelated to that.
Oh, yeah.
That affects that.
Yeah.
I know we've discussed recently, in the relationship of some people you've been talking to, mm-hmm. and we've discussed like, oh yeah, we talk about sex all the time. Mm-hmm. We talk about communication all the time. It's mm-hmm. a daily, whatever the word would mean, that multiple times a day type of conversation, like a bi-daily or something. I don't know I don't know which word would be for it, I want to say hourly. It ain't every hour, but
it probably isn't daily either.
But
often.
But it's very often, and then there are those what I would consider groupings.
Yeah.
There are those groupings where it might be 3 or 4 days where we're hashing out something or figuring out something or talking through something, and you might have the conversation 3 or 4 times a day in that time frame, and
just
then
little snippets here and there.
Yeah, but that's also one of the things we talk about with communication and just the idea of dealing with conflict and the idea of just getting yourself on the same page is if you deal with the snippets, you don't have to deal with the snowball, mm-hmm. Or I don't know, that was mixed metaphor. If you deal with the snowflake, you don't have to deal with the snowball. I don't know, but it's the idea of when it's small, you can deal with it in a small type of way. Mm-hmm. But if you allow that small thing to get big, now it has to become a big man. You have to manage it like it's a big thing.
Now it's the elephant in the room.
Now it's a big thing. So if you learn how to communicate and deal with that idea that I don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings, if you say whatever it might be when it's kind of smaller, then it doesn't have to be a big thing. And the reason that, say, for example, the conversation of not hearing me falls into that category of not hurting someone else's feelings mm-hmm. is the idea of before, even less annoyed, we've talked about, and I've said it before, do you know what it's like to literally not be heard? People talk about, I just feel unheard. I'm literally not heard. It's not even a figure of speech. It's like literally you don't hear me. I'm yelling at you something and you don't hear me. And then I got to go through the thought process of making sure I communicate or do certain things so you do. And it's that idea of being able to say, imagine that feeling, that concept of literally feeling unheard when you talk about it for 5 minutes in that moment or when you wait 2 or 3 weeks to talk about it.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks is a big problem.
It's a big problem. Also, I feel like this might be the perfect platform to have like a legitimate discussion about us. This is something that we have conflict about. Is that two things? Yesterday, when you were speaking to me, you were telling me that you were leaving, and I was walking up the steps, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to work," or something like that. And then you started, like, once I got up the steps, maybe 10 seconds later or whatever. So I was upstairs in another bedroom, in another room, in that bedroom, on the opposite side of the house, and you were in the kitchen around the corner, trying to talk to me. And finally, I just had to stop what I was doing, come out of the room, go to the steps and be like, where are you? What are you saying?
Yeah.
And also this happened the other day. You were talking to me about something. You were trying to, you started a conversation with me, and I can't remember like what I was doing. And I was like, oh, what? Like, what did he say? What did he say? What is he saying? And I've said this before to you, like, get my attention first.
Yeah.
Because I have to turn off whatever dialogue is in my mind first and then turn it over to being tuned in to you.
Yep.
And I was kind of chuckling to myself because you had been watching Top Gun or something like that. And so I had like one of the songs from Top Gun in my mind that had just been like on repeat, and you're trying to talk to me. But that's what's in my mind loud and clear.
Yeah.
So you just instantly start talk to me about something and you're in a different spot in the house. Yeah. And I'm usually in motion around here. So I'm usually not still, and you come up, you approach me and talk to me. It's like I'm breezing by and you're talking to me. And I was like, oh, like I've asked him like so many times, please get my attention first. I'm like, I just need to tell him like, this is what was going on in my mind. And then like sing this song. I can't even remember what song it was.
Is the Lady Gaga one?
No, because it was the older.
Danger Zone?
I think it was You've Lost That Love and Feeling. I think I could be wrong, but that's and so like in my mind that's what's going on when you. So I'm like, it's like you interrupting a conversation I'm already in, which is why I say, can you please get my attention first so I can turn that conversation off and tune in to what you're saying. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes sense.
So this was us having like a legit discussion about our conflict when it comes to actual hearing, because once you told me you just have to train your ears to hear me, and I'm like, don't you think I would have done that by now?
I still agree with that statement.
Focus. The dumbest thing.
No, it ain't. Talk to your sister. She'll tell you. You just gotta tune into that frequency. It's just my voice is in a frequency that's muddy also, in your ear. But
this conversation is a joke because I do have a sister who's an audiologist.
Right. That's the point. So that's the point. That's the point. That's why we say talk to your sister. Talk to your sister. She will tell you frequencies. And I'm like, we're gonna go to her and we're gonna get our hearing checked. By we gotta check yours.
And we're gonna check out. Oh, sorry, the dog is right here.
Get you some headphones.
What frequency I have hearing loss in, and where your voice is on that.
I'm gonna say
that chart.
150 to 200, 250, right in that area.
What does that mean?
Lower mids.
That's where you think your voice is?
I have a bunch. Well, I actually have some that sits down in the like 600 to 150 range. But why does it sound like there's a tugboat outside the house?
It's still going. Yeah, I do not know.
But for vocally, just vocally, when you hear something that's music or stuff of that nature, that is the area where things are called your low mids, and that's where things get muddy because it has a very warm sound, but it also has a very the frequencies where things are sharp and pointy, where you pick up on it a lot more, is like 4,000. You know, 4,000. 4,000 is ear piercing. 1,500 might be right around the range it starts to peak out. 4,000 is ear piercing.
We're nerding out on this.
8,000.
Get back to
I know,
communication.
I'm communicating clearly. But in 8,000 is where, you know, but 4,000, all the light and the brevity, but where you hear stuff. Like the reason that you can hear a female's voice so far down the road, for example, is because it's a higher pitch. It's higher pitch than that 4,500, 8,000, somewhere in that range where it travels and you can hear it. But I have a voice that is warm, and if even if I'm not speaking this way, if I just speak, especially when I wake up, I know you can't hear me when I wake up.
Or when you're tired, or
this
when
is the when I'm half asleep.
We literally have to communicate
like,
about
I gotta go
our
like
communication.
this. When I'm half asleep, my voice goes like, and why is Roy doing that? Why is he doing that? And my voice is all the way down in the range by that point. So I know you can't hear me then.
Yeah, in our relationship, we literally have to communicate about our communication a lot.
I've taken a lot of my vocal lessons for singing and have applied those just to speaking, just so you can hear me. You know, take my voice and push it a little bit forward like this, just so you can hear me a lot more. If I can be honest,
I think a lot of it is if you would get my attention, then I could hear you better.
The funny part about that conversation always for us is you're like, I have a rambling conversation going on in my head.
All the time.
So you have to stop the conversation going on in my head. The problem with me is I too have a rambling conversation going on in my head, and I'm trying to bring you in the middle of it. So to stop and call you, sometimes I have to remember to stop the conversation.
Like the last podcast that we did, and you were wearing the Mad Hatter hat. I was like, I need him to take that hat off the next time he's wearing it, and we record, because like I literally cannot concentrate.
I know you can't.
With that hat.
Oh, it had you swooning, didn't it? It had you swooning.
No.
You're like, no, I don't know what's going on.
No, it did not have me swooning.
I have no clue what I'm doing with that hat. I was like, maybe just put it on and see if it gives me some life. I don't know where I'm going with it. I made it that tall because I was like, for once, I just want to make a really tall one and see what happens. But then I got to a certain point. I'm like, I have no clue where I'm going with this. It'll find its life over time.
We're completely
But anyway, going back to communication. So we talked about if you don't know, and we talked about hurting somebody else's feelings, the idea of fear and embarrassment being those things, and how you overcome fear and embarrassment. And I know that I would consider fear and embarrassment harder to do because those, I believe, are rooted so much more deeply in humans than the other two. You know,
and a lot of times that root can take hold through one interaction.
Yeah.
Well, I did it. When I do that, people don't stick around. When I say what I want, people don't stick around. Well, how many times have you said what you want? Well, I dated this person in the past.
This person.
Okay, that's one time.
That's a singular, yeah.
But it's strong enough for you to say like, oh, I'm never doing that again.
Well, I don't remember who said it. Marcy said it to me. She said somebody said, and if it gets buried early, it's buried deep. Yeah. And so that one stuck with me. Like, if it gets buried early, it gets buried deep because you pile everything else on top of it. So to find it, you got to dig down and find it. So yeah, let's say that person's one time.
I just heard this today, actually.
What was that?
The stuff that we've buried it alive. It's buried alive.
I like that.
That's intense.
It's extremely intense. It's extremely intense. Wow. Yeah.
So that's why it takes such a root and such a hold. And it's important that when that stuff is happening, that we're saying that was one instance, but now we have to muster up the courage and the bravery.
Yeah.
To try again, because you deserve for your voice to be heard.
Yeah.
Like, you deserve to be in a relationship where you can speak what you're experiencing.
Right.
You deserve to be in a relationship where you can share your preferences.
Right.
And they're listened to and taken into consideration. And what's the word? Like, and yes, we're doing it just because you want to.
Just because you want to? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it is important that you are in a relationship where you know, not that you feel like
yeah,
that you have the space
to
express what's going on with you.
And it might be a short answer for the fear and embarrassment that might help somebody And it might be too easy an answer to work with, to connect with some people. But the idea that you fear the result of the answer, whatever you're fearing, doesn't get smaller because you didn't ask the question.
Right.
Whatever you might be embarrassed about isn't going to get smaller because you haven't asked the question.
Mm-mm.
Because if it's something that big and something that major and something that has that much of an implication and effect on you, the longer you wait, the fear and the embarrassment are only being fed in the background. It's just being fed like an algae in a DC pool. That's all it is. It's just being fed.
The reflecting pool.
The reflecting pool. It's just being fed. That fear and embarrassment is just hiding out in the pipes and being fed.
The longer we don't prove it wrong, the longer we're letting it
be right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just get it out early.
Yeah.
Get it out early, get done with it. Move on to the next thing.
And like I said, it's okay to start a conversation saying, hey, I'm trying to be more like this.
Yeah.
I'm trying to communicate better. I'm trying to express where I'm coming from, what I'm experiencing.
I think there's great power in that, and the power that gets lost sometimes is saying, I have a hard time communicating. I'm trying to be a better communicator. Is being vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And it's vulnerability practice.
It's also showing whoever you're speaking with that you're working on yourself.
Well, that too, but what I'm saying for the internal intrinsic person thinking intrinsically and worried about fear or embarrassment or whatever, not only does it allow it not to be as big as it will be if you leave it alone, mm-hmm. but it also allows you the practice of being able to say it and just do it. So it's like, oh crap, I just said that word wrong, my bad. Like, how hard is that? How bad does that feel versus ruminating for weeks like, oh, I should have said something different. Pulling that George Costanza, I should have said. But, how much, if you did that 25 times, like, hey man, I'm still working on my communication. Mm-hmm. So, just let me know if I trip up. Ooh, I said that word wrong, didn't I? Yeah. Ooh, I said play, not pray. Oh, my words are getting mixed up today. If you just start doing that, you'll notice that, it's easier. It's like, it's easier just to say it and call it out. It's like you're thinking about when something is awkward. If you just say it's awkward,
right.
Best way to manage it is just be like, call it out and say it's awkward. The moment you do that, it's no longer awkward.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to laugh about it and go home.
Everybody just sort of like, ha ha ha. Like, it's very disarming.
Right.
Yeah.
Not only for other people, but for you.
Or if you presenting something with your partner or to your partner and leading it with like, hey, I know like you've been doing a good job with this.
Yeah.
For the most part, I can see you've been working on X, Y, Z. I appreciate it. Here's something that I would like.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you can present things like that.
Faux show.
Yeah. You deserve a space to have the freedom to speak what you need to speak and feel what you need to feel and express those things.
Yeah.
It's important that you have that. Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right. I mean, I think we kind of hit all of them.
Well, we gave everybody a little taste of our communication.
Oh, yeah.
Conflict issue, whatever you want to call it, that we go round about.
Ongoing growth area. Who knows?
Thanks for watching. From the outside, you look like you have your shift together.
But relationships, not always as easy. So let's have conversation that actually moves things forward.
And meet yourself where the shift happens.